Today I have the wreath of all fall wreaths, pumpkin spice latte fall wreath. So if you love pumpkin spice latte, this is the wreath for you. You're going to need a wreath form, some felt, Aleene's tacky glue, some floral elements, a needle and thread, pumpkin spice stuff, letters, a Starbucks cup, and some yarn. First, you're going to apply some tacky glue to a foam wreath form and then wrap it with yarn. Now, I just put the glue every once in a while. I didn't glue the whole thing on, but if you don't glue the whole thing on, the yarn can move. So kind of every few inches or so, you want to put some glue. Now, this is going to take about 20 to 30 minutes to wrap the whole wreath form with the yarn. When you get to the end, cut the end off and put some glue in there and kind of tuck the end of the yarn in between the layers so it doesn't fray. Next, get a clean Starbucks cup, mark PSL on it, set that aside. And now you're going to take some 6x12 chipboard and glue a sheet of felt to each one. You're going to need 2 of these. This is going to make the banner that goes across the middle of the wreath that the letters are sitting on. Now, if you have bigger letters, you're going to need a bigger banner. If you have smaller letters, you can make a smaller banner. So the size will differ. Again, I'm using the Aleene's tacky glue for this because it dries fast and it holds really, really well. Now, before it dries, you can go ahead and trim off the excess felt, and then you want to let that dry for about 10 minutes. Once it's dry, cut notches in the end of the little banner pieces, and you can just use that scrap to glue the 2 pieces together so that it makes one nice long banner. So you want to let that dry for about half an hour. Then once it's dry, notch the other end. And I kind of bent and curled the edges of the banner so it actually looked like a big ribbon. Once you have that all bent and curled, use some tacky glue to glue that to your wreath form. Now, I do want to mention I'm using a smooth foam wreath form. It has nice markings on it if you want to measure things and, see how much you need to cover, etc. I didn't really use those marks on it, but that's the wreath that I'm using. Next, take a cute little wood heart and paint it gold. And I'm using some Plaid Crafts folk art paint. First, I'm painting it gold, and before that even dries, I'm going to add this chunky glitter paint. Now, this is really cool because you just paint this on and it dries clear, but it puts a whole layer of glitter. It's really awesome. Next, you're going to make some fake sheepskin boots. So I made this cute little pattern. You can go download that for free over at jenniferppriest.com. The link is down in the description here if you're watching this on YouTube. So cut out the pattern, pin it to some felt, cut it out, and you're going to need to cut 4 pieces. So here I've just folded the piece of felt over so I can cut 2 at a time. You can cut them individually if you want. Once you have 4 cut, now you're going to stitch them together. So I wanted this to look a little bit more realistic, so I used a needle and thread to add some stitching across the bottom of the boot so that it would look like a real boot. Now, this is not super fancy stitching, and you could totally use a sewing machine for this, but I just felt like this project is so small. It was really silly to break out the sewing machine for this. If you don't sew, you could just draw a line on here if you wanted to, with a marker or something, or just glue a piece of thread on if you want it to be perfect, because these are pretty small and you just want the effect of it looking like a sheepskin boot. It doesn't have to be functional. So once you're done stitching, tie that off, and to make the fluff at the top of the boot, I'm using a cotton ball. So I just kind of ripped some pieces off the cotton ball, applied some glue to glue my little boot shut, and then stuck the cotton ball in there. Now, if you'll notice, I outlined one side of the boot with glue, and then the other side I just put some glue at the top. That's because the cotton is going to be at the top and you need to sandwich it in there. Again, I'm using the Aleene's tacky glue because it dries super fast and it holds really well. Next, you're going to position all of your items on. Now, I've already glued on my PSL letters, and I actually got these on clearance at Michael's. So you never know what you're going to find. They have a lot of really cool letters there right now. Start gluing on all of your elements. They're going to make this very pumpkin spicy, like a doily, some fall leaves, of course your Starbucks cup, a pumpkin, some cute little baubles and things like that. Again, I'm just using the tacky glue to glue all of the elements on, my little glitter heart, some buttons to make the sweater part look realistic, and the little fake sheepskin boots, all held on with that Aleene's tacky glue. I hope that you guys enjoyed this PSL wreath. Let me know in the comments if you're going to make one and what you think of it. Here are some other fall projects. There's a vintage light bulb wreath and a pumpkin flower centerpiece. I'd love it if you clicked on those and went and checked them out. And just as a reminder, click on the link to my blog post here, because this wreath is part of a blog hop with 17 different unique fall wreaths. So make sure you go and check that out. I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye!